Network. This is OpenLine.
You had Teddy, you had Chris.
Hi everybody, Rhori Johnston with you here on News Channel 5 Plus. Welcome to OpenLine, and yes, it is me. It's been a while since I've been sitting in this chair tonight for Ben Hall, but it is great to be with you. We are live on this Tuesday night. We want to remind you this is called OpenLine, meaning we're going to open the phone lines because we want to have a discussion with you folks. 737+ is the phone number, and it is a topic that is on many minds right now, and that is the future of transit in Nashville. And I'm pleased to welcome Jeff Eller as our guest tonight. Jeff, thanks for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. He is a spokesman for the group called No Tax for Tracks, which I'm sure you have heard from by now. We've had other people here, those in support of the proposed transit system or transit plan that has been proposed, and there's a vote coming up, a big vote coming up, and Jeff's group, No Tax for Tracks, has been advertising a great deal and pushing back against this, saying this is not the plan. In just kind of a nutshell, tell us why the No Tax for Tracks group was even formed and what the mission is.
It was formed with a core belief that if this passes, you'll have the highest sales tax of any major city in the U.S. for a plan that basically won't fix congestion. It would be nice if it's a transit plan. It's more of an economic development plan, and the cost associated with it, and those who have the least will pay the most, really formed the basis for the opposition.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's more of an economic development plan?
Because it really doesn't address congestion. It is over 70% focused on light rail. The moment you lay an inch of track, you lose any flexibility you have to adjust for the future. This plan is really a look back. It's using old technology instead of looking at new and better ways to improve traffic flow, traffic congestion, and we just think it's the wrong plan at the wrong time and that we should vote against it and start over.
Why this plan, the Let's Move Nashville plan, didn't just come together overnight though?
Correct.
I mean, there was a lot of input, a lot of study, a lot of research.
There was.
So why do you think this was the ultimate, this was the result?
They listened, but they didn't hear. Mm-hmm. They didn't hear about the needs of the community. They did not hear the cries for help on affordable housing. This is going to radically change how housing is done. If you look at their 55-page plan, we've read through every page of the plan. It's largely developed on corridors of transit centers, of which they want development around the transit centers to create the density to justify the light rail, to get the ridership they hope to get. In their plan, over 60 times, they use words like may not, approximate, probable, could. And when you really tear this plan down to its basics, it's upside down. Nashville goes like this, mm-hmm. where mass transit really works, goes like this. New York, Chicago, Boston, where density goes up, not out. Nashville doesn't have the density. In reality, this plan is designed to create the density to then justify the light rail. And we think that's upside down. And it won't help congestion. And in fact, there are parts of the plan.
Why won't it help congestion?
Because it doesn't, not $1 of this plan does anything to help roads, fix potholes, change the way you deal with your morning commute per se, mm-hmm. and most importantly, it ends at the county line. All four sides of the county is where this plan ends. And we all know all you have to do is look east on I-40 in the morning or south to I-65 in the evening and know that it doesn't take into account the regional nature of traffic in this area.
Did the RTA, the Regional Transportation Administration, not have any input?
Well, they were
there not discussions with the donut counties?
They were they're at the table.
Okay.
What happened? What we think happened here is, and look, not all of this is Nashville's fault. They are hamstrung a bit by the way the legislature has put restrictions around the act. that allows this kind of funding. What hasn't happened? All of the mayors in the surrounding counties have said, you go. Yeah, that's great. You go. If you build it, we might come. Now, they're standing on the sidelines cheering because they want somebody to take that first step. But there's nothing in this plan that says it will ever go beyond the county line.
Right. When you look at the plan, or when you talk about the corridors, I-65, for example.
The interstate corridors.
Yeah, the interstate corridors and the congestion that has grown on those corridors. I-40 out to Wilson County,
right.
I-65 up towards Sumner County.
Right.
What's being done to address those issues?
There's nothing in the plan for those. There's nothing in the plan.
And I mean, with a city like Nashville, which you said is maybe perhaps a little of both, growing up, but definitely growing out to the surrounding counties, do you do like, you know, what Houston has done and just widen these make a massive freeway and widen, add lanes, or how do you deal with that interstate traffic, those commuters in and out every single day?
Well, what we think you have to do is look at, there hasn't been a fundamental change in the interstate structure in Nashville in an incredibly long time. And what the city didn't do, there is not one state dollar asked for or accounted for in their plan. The Nashville City has become an island of sorts within a population structure that is growing around it and stressing it from the outside. But instead of looking at a broader, regional, more holistic plan on this, they've decided to double down and do these corridors and try to go up on the taxpayer's dime, as opposed to accounting for the fact that it's already gone this way.
Let's go to the phones. 737+ is our phone number, everybody, if you'd like to call in. And Darius is our first caller. Hey, Darius.
Hey, how's it going, bro?
Going great. Go ahead.
The question I'll have is that if Nashville is a city that's growing, and they say we're like growing in mass, with mass people coming here daily, weekly, monthly, what is stopping our city from actually having a real train if we still have active railroads, if they obviously transport goods on? Why is it a plan that's so huge and going to hit us so greatly in a tax bill, and it's a streetcar? So basically, I agree that it's not going to really stop much because all of our streets are just so greatly congested. And also, what has taken so long with interstates like 24 and 65 and 440 for so long? What has deemed or like slowed the process is what I want to know of those kind of projects being complete and finished and helpful.
Well, some of that I can answer, and some of it I simply don't know. When you start talking about existing railroads, such as the ones that haul freight through Nashville, I frankly not sure. It's an apples and oranges thing, and I'm not going to go there. But I think he brings up an interesting and valid point on the interstates. What this doesn't, if you go listen to Councilman John Cooper, who did a presentation about what he learned, was this plan does not take into account the interstates. Doesn't take into account the construction.
It does take into account the like you said, the major corridors, right?
It does.
The big, busy, your Murfreesboro,
Gallatin,
Pike,
Murfreesboro, Nolensville. Yes, it does. The corridors are designed along those major arteries, but they're largely designed to support expanded development. So what they want to do is they want to lay a track down, and once you do that, the track's set. Right
down the middle or close to it?
Well, let's just say within the neighborhood. And then they want the development to happen around that track in order to ultimately support what they think is appropriate ridership on it. There won't be much ridership on it. If the track was all done today, there wouldn't be a lot of ridership. What they want is development around those.
And why do you think there wouldn't be a lot of ridership right now? If someone lived out, say, Nolensville Pike and had a job in Nashville, wouldn't it be easier for them? I'm going to leave the car at home. I can hop on this light rail and get right into downtown.
It's a great question. Part of it is culture. This is a driving culture in Davidson County, has been for a long time. What nobody really knows, and what they can't tell you in this plan is, will I park my car get on the light rail, go to where it ends, and possibly have to get on something else to get where I'm going. A lot of cases they won't. If I could walk out of my front door and get on the light rail, and it ends up on the door I want to walk into, then yeah, that's a really possible scenario. But the likelihood of that happening without the development around it is pretty slim. On a good day, on a really, really, really good day, 2.5% to 3% of people ride what is available today.
Wow. All right, we're going to take a quick break, everybody. We've got David on line one. David, hold on. We're going to get to your call, and then wide open lines after that. 737+. We'd like your questions about the future of transit in Nashville. Open line continues right after this.